wrenching. Today I'm going to show you how to use a timing light, real quick, efficient, won't take you very long. So you're going to need a timing light, and that basically looks like this radar gun style thing here. They come in different shapes, sizes. Mine's a dial. I really like that style. They all work on the same principle. You have a positive lead that's going to hook to your battery or starter solenoid or backup alternator, whatever works for your setup, how it's running. And then you have a ground, hooks to your frame, body ground, block, whatever, you get the point. And then we have this clamp here. That clamp hooks to your number one cylinder, and I'll show you real quick how to find that number one cylinder. And then you have the gun itself as a light on the front, and that shoots a pulsating light at your harmonic balancer, and there's a timing mark on there. You line them up. Again, I'll show you that when we get into the car. And like I said, mine has a dial, so if we have a preset that we want to reach, I'll take the dial and I'll turn it. So for the Cobra here, I'm running about 8 degrees of timing before top dead center at idle. So let's jump in the car and check our timing. So here's the motor for the Cobra. It's a 429 big block. This is going to work the same for any old school style engine. So basically we have our distributor here. That's what we're going to be using to adjust our timing. And then on the Cobra, we have the alternator down here. The problem is that it's pretty close to the block. It's hard to get to that power wire, and I constantly short it out whenever I use it. The battery is in the trunk. So what we're going to do is we're going to hook up to the starter solenoid, which is right down here. And you're going to want to do this when the car is nice and warmed up, or else you're not going to get the most accurate results. And then we have our ground, and I have this ground plug right here, ground wire for the starters plugged right into the block. We'll just clamp it there. So how do I figure out which one is my number one cylinder? Well, if we look at the engine, and I'm looking at it dead on, you can see that this right here is kicked out just a tad farther. That means that that's number one. So all the engines and the Chevys, Fords, everything, your number one cylinder is kicked out closest to the fan. So if you were working on an inline six or whatever, that number one cylinder is always the one that's kicked out closest to pulley system fan. You get the point. Take our clamp and we'll hook it to that number one wire. And just make sure your wires are clear of headers and everything, because they're hot because you warmed up your car and everything. So let's get it turned on. And then what we're going to be looking for, because you're not going to be able to hear me very well, is down here, and I'll show a close-up of this so you can really see it. There's a little triangle tab there, and there's a white line on the balancer that's been marked when we found top dead center, all that fun stuff. So we want to line up the line and the mark perfectly, because we're going to change our dial to match those up. So as you change the dial, those lines will come together. Then you will be set. So figure out what your timing is. I always go on Google to get a rough estimate, and then I kind of just change it based on whatever's going on. So if your engine's running too hot at idle, you're too advanced, so your number's too high. Bring that number down some. If you feel like you're getting some backfires, really sooty black spark plugs, power's not there, you're too retarded, so you need to bring up that timing number. Let's check it. Let's make sure we're shooting for 9. And then if we needed to do a timing adjustment, let's say we're at 13 and our dial is set for 9, it's real simple. And this goes the same for all types of cars, or all types of old school cars. We go to our distributor, and it's always going to be this big thing with all the wires attached to it. And there is a bolt down here. Just loosen that up while the car is running. It needs to be while the car is running. And then with one hand on your timing light, clicking it and watching it, take your other hand and just rotate that ever so slightly, just until you get those to line up. Once they're lined up, tighten it down, recheck it, make sure nothing changed on you, and then timing will be set. We got our timing light. If it's ever not clicking, just jiggle this around a bit. Look. I don't know if you were able to see that or not, but basically we got it set. We were going for 9, it's at 8. The book calls between 7 and 11 degrees, maybe 7 and 10. So we're going to try 8. We're going to see how that is. If we're overheating or we're not getting enough power, then we know we need to go up or a little bit. You don't need to change it a whole lot of degrees, just kind of get in that ballpark. Little tips, if the light isn't kicking on, jiggle that cylinder 1 wire. Maybe it's not clamped properly or giving you a false reading, things like that. And then make sure your power and ground are good. That's basically the gist of how to set timing. After you do that, you might need to do some adjustments on your carb. Don't touch any of that. Just go drive your car, see how it acts after that first initial change, and then kind of work your way from there so you're not chasing yourself in circles. That's going to do it for today. Thanks for watching.